Yesterday, Senator Elizabeth Warren announced she was suspending her presidential campaign, and she opened up about it in a press conference outside her home and on Rachel Maddow's show last night. Take a look.
One of the hardest parts of this is all those baby promises and all those little girls who are going to have to wait 4 more years.
There's a feeling that your campaign ending is very specific to you, and it also feels a little bit like a death knell in terms of the prospects of having a woman for president in our lifetimes.
Oh, God, please no. That can't be right.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. This cannot be the right answer.
Yeah. Well, all those great women that are still out there, I don't think anybody thinks they're not going to run. I mean, I want Stacey Abrams to run at some point. I want her out there. You know, there are a lot of, I think women have this idea that, you know, now there's not going to be, look, it took us, what, 150 years to get a black president, and we were shocked as hell about that.
Well, if
you know?
I think the feeling is, though, and I have a really good friend who's like a diehard Warren supporter, and she's really upset. I talked to her yesterday, and I think there's this feeling, though, that I believed she's a much better candidate than Bernie. I think she was smarter, more likable. I think that goes to men and women. I think she was more prepared in the debate. She completely knocked Bloomberg out at the knees, and I think there's this feeling where you have people like Klobuchar, Warren, Kamala Harris, who's a sitting senator, who gender really did come into play, and I'm not the first person to always say this, but the way they're covered by the media, it's the way they look. They're too likable. They're not likable enough. They're too shrill. She's not smart enough. She's not warm enough. And it's every woman that runs, and I think there's a feeling of exhaustion among a lot of American women. Like, when is the media going to throw some of these female candidates? By the way, not just presidential candidates, candidates across the board, and women in politics across the board. When are we going to start treating them like men? And I'm always hopeful that each election cycle they will, and then I'm disappointed that they don't. And by the way, this is something that's been going on since our entire lifetimes. I saw it front and center with Sarah Palin, and I think there's been horrible trends on forward, and they're just treated differently. And Elizabeth Warren has a very classy response. I'm almost done. Okay. She says, if I complain about it, I'm a whiner, and if I don't recognize it, I look delusional. And I think that was a great answer.
Well, in the patriarchy that we find ourselves, you know, a man can be angry, a woman cannot be. Bernie is always angry. I like him very much. He's a good guy, but he always comes across as angry. Elizabeth Warren can't come across that way. You know, so they have similar agendas, the two of them, too. And still, we accept it in him, but not in her. And let me just say this one thing. In a normal year, without the horror show that's going on in the White House right now, I think that a woman could have had a better chance. But we are in an emergency situation, and we could not take a chance on the misogynists in this country ruining it for a woman. And that's what is happening right now. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen again. I don't think it will next time. People are getting smarter.
I think it'd be intellectually dishonest not to say being a woman plays into it. Of course. I don't think that's the only reason. For me, Elizabeth Warren wasn't the right candidate for me politically, and I would never insult a woman enough to say I only voted for you because I'm a woman and you're a woman.
What about Klobuchar? She was different from
I really was a Mayor Pete person. I really liked him. I really liked Andrew Yang. I think the moderate, the closer to the middle you are, that probably is more representative of most people in this country, whether we hear enough of it. So I think she was too far left for me. But I also
think a lot of people she was too far left for.
Yeah, but I also think we need to stop putting people so much in categories. Not every black person thinks like every black person. Not every woman thinks like every woman. Not every young person thinks like every young person. We keep grouping everyone together, and that is limiting our potential. We're more nuanced individual to individual. There are probably men that think more like me than a lot of women do.
But you can't dismiss the misogyny and the sexism.
No, but I think we're all a product of that. We're all raised in the same time. I probably have my own misogyny. I watched the Taylor Swift documentary.
I wasn't raised at the same time you were.
Joy, I was doing you a solid by bringing you down.
No, that's okay.
But
experience, darling.
Taylor Swift said something in her documentary that really hit me. She said, I had to rid myself of my own misogyny. It's kind of like someone who comes out. People assume that because they're gay, they're okay with being gay. They have a battle to fight to get to accept themselves.
It's called consciousness raising. That's what needs to be done
and I think progress is being made when you look at the candidates we had. It was a very diverse group of people. Yes, we're down to 2 white men, but
Two old guys, too.
Okay. I was doing them a solid as well. But I think the point is that we're making progress. Those stages are starting to be more colorful. There's more there.
This is 60 years ago this didn't happen.
Yeah.
Okay, there weren't women. 60 years ago is not long ago
But I
at
think,
all.
not.
but I think for me, I was always raised. My dad told me you can be president, Megan, like always. And I feel like if I had a child right now,
Right.
and it was a girl, I don't know what I'd say anymore because I do think it's like there's this quote that like, "Where's my jetpack? Where's my woman president? Like, why are we still here as Americans?" And I think it's frustrating. And
It
for
is.
me, I'd love it to be a conservative woman, like happy if it's Nikki Haley or someone like else. But I do think women traditionally are better leaders in a lot of situations because we're more compassionate and we
More
do have to deal
there's more collaboration.
collaborative.
Yes,
in every
And I
country.
think for me, I'm 35. I'm going to be 36 by the next election, or almost, 36 the next election. Where's my woman president? I would like a woman to be president in my
Well,
lifetime.
Maybe you should run then.
Yeah,
Just
you
run.
know,
Would you vote for
get
me,
in
Joey?
line.
You're
Maybe